out the second final spot. Best of 19 legs again in that one, that coming your way shortly. If you're watching earlier, you may have heard the news from Stuart Pike in commentary that the British Darts Organisation has decided to reject Barry Hearn's offer to buy them out and take full control of the sport. We can get a little bit more reaction to that from no less than Barry Hearn himself, who's had a word with Net.
Barry, what news from the BDO today?
Well, they've had a county associations meeting today, and they've decided by majority vote that they don't want to continue any discussions, and I think the matter from their side is over now, and from ours as well.
How surprised are you about that?
I'm disappointed, and I'm surprised a little, but I'm more disappointed for amateur darts, because obviously there was a couple of £1 million to go into the game of amateur darts, which is good for us in the future because it helps build tomorrow's stars, and they've decided not to pursue any. It's a little bit surprising because obviously we asked for two things. We said, look, we've got a couple of £1 million for you. We want to put some money into the amateur game. Let's have a meeting to discuss, which they've obviously decided not to bother with. And we also asked for due diligence to look at the company records of the BDO, which for whatever reason they've declined that as well. So there is nowhere for us to go. They have every right to decide what to do with their own organisation. We wish them well. Our door remains open, but we'll get on with convincing ourselves we've had a good day. You know, I've saved £2 million today, so it's not been a bad day. We'll go and do something with the money with ourselves. But we tried to help, and our advances were spurned, so we'll take it on the chin and move on.
Sure. I mean, there are plenty of darts fans fans of the PDC. You need no convincing of that, I'm sure. But there are also people in the darts world who think there is room for two distinctive, different organisations, and perhaps that should be protected in some sense.
I think you may be right. I think there's room for a clearly defined amateur game and a clearly defined professional game. The problem at the moment is that certain people, you know, will advance the case of the BDO World Professional Darts Championships, which is clearly not a World Professional Darts Championships. It's a very good event. The World Championships is at Alexandra Palace and has £1 million of prize money and the best players in the world. But of course, you need to see them, you know, to be convinced of that. And I think there's a little bit of self-protectionism going on here, where basically the BDO say, look, just leave us alone. We're quite happy with our lot. We take the bigger view that this is a massive game waiting to emerge. I mean, a massive game. And we need to be very professional. I think we do need a clearer definition between the amateur game, which is the BDO, and we acknowledge that, and the professional game, which is without doubt the PDC. But while the two merge, it confuses people, and it confuses the international market, it confuses the domestic television market, and more importantly of anything, it can confuse the punters, because there is only one world champion. His name is Philip Taylor.
That is Barry Hearn's view. You won't be entirely surprised to hear. He believes that there is really only room for one professional body. Chris and Alan, who of course are PDC representatives, I should point that out. How do you see it? I mean, obviously from a football perspective, we'd look at the FA and the Premier League. There's an ongoing tussle, if you like, for control of football with those two, which is probably going to go on for the foreseeable future. It would appear that's going to be the case in darts too, Chris.
Yeah, it wasn't about control. It was about the benefit of the game in a whole. And, you know, their decision is their decision. I just hope they repay all their loyal members by providing a, you know, a respected governing body of the game, you know, and continue to produce the stars of tomorrow. But they don't. You know, they don't. They let everybody down, including themselves. The last World Championship, in fairness, was an embarrassment. You know, it was car crash television. The darts were of poor quality. And they expect to call themselves the professional, you know, the professional championships.
In fairness, Alan, I suppose to ask the people that control the BDO to sell to the PDC is like asking turkeys to vote for Christmas, isn't it?
Well, I thought a lot of people didn't think it was going to happen, but there was a big offer there on the table, and like Barry said, he's saved £2 million, he'll put it into something else. It would have been of great benefit if at least they could have got around the table and had a look and see what it actually meant. But obviously it's not going to be, so Barry's quite happy with that, and he'll move on and put something else into it.
They needed us more than we needed them. Let's put it that way.
Okay, thank you for your views, gentlemen. Certainly, whichever body you represent, whoever you're playing, the science of how you throw darts at the board is crucial to how successful you are. And Christopher here's been having a look at just how Phil Taylor has become the preeminent force in darts.